Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to another episode of the Developing Dads podcast. We are on episode... Neil's rubbing his face for some reason. We're on episode number...
It's been very critical. We've been on for 4 minutes. And he's like, what's that noise? Don't shake your microphone.
It's just pernickety about sound quality. That's all deal.
We're episode number 97. 97 hours of doing this.
We are, you know. We're on the verge of killing each other at some point.
Might get to 100.
Maybe. Who knows? We might stop at 99. Maybe this is the last podcast. Neil's also having a beer, so we'll see how that goes. This is episode number 97 of the Developing Dads podcast. I don't know how it's the end of the week already. I have absolutely no idea. I've been on like 6 calls or something today straight, chatting, talking to clients and whatnot. So it's kind of been a full and hectic day, I guess, and a full and hectic week. It's like one Tuesday I felt like it'd been good, and then Wednesday not so good, and then today kind of. But
you got rid of the man flu?
I have, yeah, but I exercised on Tuesday, but then didn't yesterday, and then because it was raining, I was going to go for a run, but I didn't, and then I couldn't today because I had like 6 back-to-back calls. So I'll try and exercise tomorrow, I think. Try and get that ticked off. Because you just feel better, right, when you exercise?
Yeah, even if you're feeling a bit under the weather sometimes, you get a pick up.
Yeah, I think it's just... So I just need to exercise again and get back into that. Not so I get back into it. I've gone 2 days without exercising, I guess.
I've done 7 days of yoga every day. 20 minutes a day.
Is that why you look stoned? If anyone's watching on
I'm zen.
if anyone's watching on YouTube, Neil looks like I don't know how to describe it, like a drunk penguin.
My heart rate's 35.
Your heart rate's at 35.
It's not 45, but yeah, it's all yoga. I'm just a monk now.
Wow. Have you had the Snip or something? Is this something you're not telling us, and you've just kind of
no?
No.
I keep thinking I need to, and James keeps reminding me I need to.
What? But, just in case?
Yeah, I can't bring myself to it. It just sounds brutal.
Yeah, it's kind of like I hear the argument of what women say when they're like, we had to take pills for our whole lives, like contraception, yada yada. You know what that does to your life and your hormones and all that kind of thing. It's like, well, all right, cut your nipple off then.
Yeah.
But then they give birth, Neil. So you're not willing to sacrifice.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's wild, isn't it? I don't know if I could do it.
And I've got an old boss, previous company. He's got infected, and it was a year of complications down there.
I just don't want anyone to take a scalpel or a pair of scissors to my penis
while you're awake.
What? Yeah, it's general anesthetic as well. It's like they just numb your dick. No, like anybody who's had a vivisectomy, is that what it's called? Vivisectomy? If anyone's had one, feel free to write into the podcast. I'll send you Neil's address, and then you can send him some pictures.
How did it go? I don't want to see your cock.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's probably a few people out there who want to show you their cock. You could probably make a business out of it at some point. You could be like, OnlyFans, vivisectomy, cocks. Anyway, yeah, welcome to episode number 97 of the Developing Dads podcast. As you can tell, it's probably not going to have any rhyme or reason or main focal discussion point. At some point,
go and text me 5 minutes before saying what we're talking about.
It's because we haven't decided, have we?
No, just rolling with it.
We're just rolling it. We're 97 podcasts in, so you know what? We're veterans at this stage overall.
We're not like the top 3% of podcasts in the world.
Well, 1%, Neil. Only 1% of podcasters get to episode number 21.
Yeah, nice.
So we're doing okay. Anyway, guess this is kind of polite thing to do. Episode number 97 is ask you how you are, because that's how we go about things. You right, Neil?
Yeah, I'm all right. As your week's been, my week's been very busy as well. I was in Leicester.
Oh, I'm sorry, Neil. I have to interrupt this. I've just had notification that my TV license is renewed.
You pay a TV license?
I'm an upstanding citizen, Neil.
I do not pay a TV license, Gordon.
Do you watch BBC iPlayer?
I do not watch BBC iPlayer.
I think that's a lie. Just because you're getting recorded.
I do it like this. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney. That'll do me.
Yeah, it's and often like it tears me up a little. Have you ever had anyone come round and ask you if you watch BBC? Like, how do they prove it though? As well.
Nowadays, it's hard. They used to like stand out with the thing if it was like aerial TV, and measure the whatever radio waves. But yeah, now they can't really.
Why am I still signed up to this bollocks then?
It's like 160 quid a year or something.
Yeah, it's a good tenner a month. Yeah, 10, 12 pound a month. You know, I'd rather be spending that on some like, I don't know, bald man treatment. You know, they're probably about £10 a month. That's probably more beneficial for me than watching TV.
It's been about 5 years. I've never paid it in this house, and no one's ever come round.
Wow. I mean, that's not advice we're dishing out on the podcast here, Neil. We can't tell people, you know, and get arrested because they're. It's not like the BBC News. You know, if they really wanted to scare people into paying the TV license, they would put it on the news, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They're like, man's gone to court and he's done 3 years in jail for not paying his TV license.
But like, nobody can stop you looking at the BBC News. Like, that's not included in your license, I don't think.
No, I guess not. And there's probably like you can watch Top Gear on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, Neil, I'm terribly sorry. I just had to interrupt you there. I'm actually quite sad about this. I could do with saving 160 quid a year because I already pay enough to. That's post tax as well.
Yeah.
I've already paid tax on the piss off. Maybe I'll try and claim it against my business. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
So I was in Leicester at the start of the week. Probably did the biggest presentation I've ever done in my young career of 10 years. CEO of a company and a few exec directors, very senior, probably around the table. Probably cost a few 10, 20 grand maybe for an hour of everyone's time. Very beneficial though. Could potentially be another customer that's coming on board. Got to drive a Polestar 2. So I flew into Birmingham, rented a car.
Oh, was this his Leicester thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to, Polestar 2. Very nice. I'd actually recommend it over a Tesla. I feel Tesla's gone too far into the futuristic. Like, even the controls on the Tesla are a bit naff. And why do I need to see every car driving past me, every person walking past me? Like, it just doesn't give me anything. The Polestar 2 is like a conventional car, but with electric bells and whistles. I think Tesla's just gone too futuristic.
I think Tesla was clever. Like, if you think about the marketing of Tesla, right? They were first to market with a lot of technology, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of kind of new ideas, because one of the problems that I guess motor vehicles have is that they have all this infrastructure that's already been built.
Yeah.
And they've got all this technology that's already been built and got all this kind of like, all this stuff is already there. And they've got to kind of fit this new idea of an electric car onto the old infrastructure or rehashed infrastructure. It's a bit like, I think, trains. Trains are a bit like that. Like, we're basically on Victorian technology and trying to make it better for the 21st century.
Yeah.
Would we still have trains if, we made it from the ground up? Probably not. So I guess that's what Tesla did. And the way that they were able to do it, they were like, their USP was like this crazy futuristic car with an iPad, like in fucking middle of the console. And like no thing in front of you and big screen window thing and, electric and fast and all that kind of thing. But car manufacturers are going to catch up fast, like real quick. But apparently the Tesla's like 7 years ahead of everybody or something.
I've heard that too. And yeah, even having the display in the front with the Polestar 2 makes a big difference. You've got the iPad thing as well, but yeah, I just felt
it's just a Volvo.
The Pulsar 2 is.
Yeah, it's Volvo.
Yeah, I got that kind of vibe from it, actually. I've driven a Volvo.
Is it big?
It's the same as Mum and Dad's Model 3.
Okay. All right. Because it's 46 grand.
Yeah.
Which is, actually, that's a ridiculous amount of money. Like, why is someone buying? Here's a, like, it looks nice, Neil. I like it. I'd probably get one. But here's the thing, right? What's the most expensive thing people own that they don't really use? Like, cost to use ratio.
Well, I think everyone's different.
Yeah, but your car, what else do you own that's a 5-figure sum?
Yeah, true.
And like these AirPods, these AirPod Maxes that I have in my head, I use these more than the car.
Yeah, my AirPods I'm wearing, like
all the time. Like you wear your clothes more than you use the car.
Yeah.
So when you think about like cost to like wear ratio thing, the car's horrendous. And it's upkeep and it's maintenance and all that kind of thing. And it's just a bit like £46,000 for a car, and you'll use it, I don't know,
twice a day.
Yeah, but as an hourly amount. Like, probably like twice a day is probably not even an hour.
Mm.
How many people drive over half an hour for a general trip? Unlikely. It's like 15 minutes or something, right? So it's just like 46 grand. It's so much money.
Yeah, I agree.
When you buy a Hyundai Tucson for 10 grand.
So yeah, came back.
How was the presentation, Neil? Congratulations, well done.
Good, got some good feedback. And it was just I did it with the managing director of the consultancy I work for, which I have not really bonded with before, but we stayed in the same hotel, had a nice breakfast together, managed to build that relationship. So it's good with Craig moving on. It's good to kind of expand my network. And then back I was into the office on Wednesday, did a internal workshop on stuff. Thursday worked from home. But yeah, it's just been like I haven't done 3 days away from home in a long time, as in the office. So yeah, felt good just to have a day at home today. Isla was sick last night, so she was off school. Troubles of dad life. She seems to be better now, but I had a companion at home with me. Apart from that, yeah, completed yoga for the week. Quite proud of myself.
So you've said
7-day challenge. Feeling.
Do you like being away for 3 days?
No.
Why not?
I feel guilty. I feel guilty that Rebecca's got to get up every morning, get the kids ready every morning, and then pick them up from school, make dinners. Like, I don't know how single parents do it, but it's a full-on job, especially with 3 kids. Homework's hard with 3 kids. So just trying to carve all that time out being a single parent, I feel guilty. I think if I didn't have kids, then I wouldn't mind it. But the kids
is it because you don't view raising kids as a job?
Don't know.
Because do you think Rebecca feels sorry for you that you've got to go away for 3 days?
No. But I get my evenings, I get my mornings.
Hi, but the kids aren't at home during the day.
I know, yeah. I mean, she's still working.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the intensity of the 3 morning nights homework that going.
I guess I guess the CEO guy that you said you had breakfast with, he's probably not thrown his beans against the wall.
What does that mean?
Well, Rebecca at breakfast time, she's dealing with a toddler that when you put butter on his toast and it melts, and he cries about the fact that there's no butter on the toast, but you have to tell him it's melted. It's not like the CEO guy's going, I don't like bacon, I want chips.
Yeah, we're having a civilized conversation.
Yeah, drinking nice flat whites or something like that. You know what I mean? You're kind of going backwards and forwards.
And we stayed in a Hilton, which is a bit of an upgrade from my Premier Inn days. Nice spa. Had a gym session. It's a bit of a lavish trip, to be honest.
No wonder you felt guilty, because you were just walking around in your swimming shorts. I'm having a really tough time, I've had a biggest meeting I've ever done in front of the biggest and most amazing people. But at the same time, when I go back, I'm going to have a nice sauna.
Something like that. Anyway, I had to fly EasyJet as well. EasyJet's, I fucking hate EasyJet.
EasyJet, Ryanair, any of those. Wizz Air.
EasyJet have started charging or saying you can't put your bags up top if you haven't got like a extra ticket or whatever it is. So they're forcing people to put bags under the seats. And there's no bags at the top. It was empty. Like,
you have a great time with EasyJet, don't you?
I fucking hate them.
Like you really see it as a. I think because you had that experience where you missed your flight.
That was diabolical. Every time I went to the gate in Birmingham.
So glad I brought it up.
And gate closes at 6 o'clock apparently, but when I got to the gate wasn't even fucking open. My ticket says gate closes at 6, but the gate's not open yet. So yeah, they've got one rule. Yeah, that annoys me. But the fact that they try and cram so many people in and nobody else flies to Birmingham from Edinburgh.
Because we've been, it's our 5th wedding anniversary coming up in March, Neil. And we've actually never celebrated necessarily our wedding anniversary as such.
You must have done like hotels or something.
No, not since we got married. Because we had 3 years in lockdown.
Okay,
and
fair.
then we've had Olivia. So it's kind of like, well, what do you do, right? And then we had the house sort of stuff and whatever else. So, the income's not exactly been there to go and do something lavish. How much do you think this is a good one? This is a good one for the listeners, actually. So again, we're flying like EasyJet or Ryanair, okay? Lisbon, Portugal, end of March, so 29th of March, maybe for a couple of nights. How much do you think flights to Lisbon over a weekend will be with that little extra sort of upgrade where you get a cabin bag and carry on and the one above the you can only take something in your pants. Yeah, you can only carry something in your pants level, right? The one up from that where you can actually take some clothes with you.
No bigger than 12 inches.
Right, no bigger than 12 inches. Hey, the greenhorns. Right, give me how much you think that is. Go on.
300 quid, £150 each return.
Nah.
5.
Nah.
Wow. It's not hitting £1,000. It must be between 5 and
£740 for 2 people to fly return to Lisbon.
It's like
a 10 kilo carry on.
A 2-hour flight or something?
Yeah, 3 hours, just under 3 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
£740. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like if you think, remember back in the day, when I went to like a Polish wedding,
you get like 50 quid return or something.
A pound, Neil. It cost more to get the bus at the time when I was younger to get to the airport than it did to get the flight to Poland.
Jeez.
That's nuts, isn't it? But I mean, given that was probably not 20 years ago, but certainly 15 years ago, it was like £1 to fly. But £740 for 2 people to fly to Lisbon.
And if you did add Olivia, that'd be over £1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Mental. Like actually mental. And the comparative cost, we can do a 2-night stay in a 5-star like spa hotel thing with a Michelin star dinner, an evening dinner, bed and breakfast, whole shebang.
Yeah.
For a little bit more than that.
I mean, that's Glen Eagles. 2 nights in Glen Eagles would get you that.
Yeah.
Mad.
It's just silly. So I don't think we'll be doing that.
I had a friend actually who just got back from Orlando with his 2 kids. Stayed in the Disney hotel 2 weeks. £17,000 all in.
Shut the door.
Disney have started charging, so you get your park ticket, and for some of the popular rides, you've got to pay $20 per ride. So it's not included in your ticket.
I'm sorry, I'm going to Vegas for that money. Like, fuck taking the kids to Disney.
£17,000.
And you said that my F1 paddock pass tickets were expensive.
Yeah, I know. It's just
17 grand.
The price.
Where's he getting 17 grand from?
I didn't ask him. But yeah, Aberdeen to London and then London out.
17 grand.
He said you could probably knock off a few grand if they didn't stay in a Disney hotel, but that bumped up a substantial
It's
amount.
still over 10.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not, no. Like, on a family holiday, 17 grand. That's, like, we stayed in the Maldives, right? Remember when we went traveling?
Yeah.
Went traveling, went to the Maldives, and I think that was for 5 nights, just under 5 grand.
Jeez.
And that was like full board, not didn't include alcohol, but full board. You get your dinner, you get breakfast, you get lunch, you get snacks, you get everything. And that was on just under 5 grand. And that was in the Maldives for a week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Disney have got a monopoly. And the parks,
Yeah.
he said there's like 10,000 each day in the parks.
Yeah.
Like the money they're raking in. Anyway, how's your week been?
How's my week been? It's just pretty hardcore. I think it's, like I said at the start, it's kind of like been a balance of, I had Olivia on Monday who did fantastically well at swimming, which I was very happy about. She's really getting much more confident with it and enjoying it. I hope there was no tears, which was nice. The Tuesday I felt productive. I felt I got through a lot of work and stuff. But then Wednesday, trying to onboard a new editor with some stuff, and like it's okay, but it's kind of like you didn't read this, you didn't read that comment, you didn't like review it properly, you didn't do this, and you're just a bit like, it's just that kind of like, it's like dragging your fingers down a chalkboard.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's because of my incompetence or it's their incompetence or communication issues or my expectation or like, a whole plethora of things. So Wednesday just felt really kind of like hard on like trying to like dragging some nails down a chalkboard. So that was kind of tough. And then today has been kind of back to back with some meetings and then trying to organize some bits and pieces. So it's just, I'm just stacked, really, to be honest, stacked with stuff. What other things have I done today? Done that, and then a couple other things. Like I've got some more calls tomorrow, but not many. Like one, I think. I got golf on Saturday.
Oh.
Going to play some golf, which is going to be fun with the boys. Lose some more balls. I probably should buy some more because I've lost a lot of them. It's quite expensive to play golf. It's 50 quid to do a round, and then I'll probably lose like 10 quid's worth of balls.
That's 50 quid to do a round.
Yeah.
Is that like Glen Eagles thinks over 100 quid for a round.
Yeah, easy. That's a championship golf.
Maybe like 200. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's, you can go and take a pee in the woods somewhere kind of place. And then Sunday, gonna have some lunch with Johnny, our good old Mr. Jacobs. Have some catch up with him, see what he's been up to. He's quit he joined the police force. I tell you that.
No.
Oh, he joined it and he's quit the police force. So it's kind of like joined and quit.
Wow.
Yeah, there's kind of like this kind of weird thing. I think this is a male thing, like a modern male thing. So like our age group, right? 30s plus. I mean, Johnny's old. He's like 40. He could be your dad. But it's like this modern male thing where we have these jobs now, right? That kind of seem like they're made up. If even 10 years ago, if I'd said to you, I make a living out of making YouTube videos for people, they'd be like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That sounds like a fake job. So we've got all these things that make really good money that you can get a job. Like personal trainer, again, fake job. Right? But you can make good money, you can make a good living out of it. But there's no 50-year-old, 60-year-old personal trainers that you can look up to and realize that there is a career long term. There's plenty of 60-year-old lawyers. There's plenty of 60-year-old engineers, like the proper traditional jobs. So I think some people, some men maybe, get kind of caught up in that where they don't see a future in this like fake job situation. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, you know what? I'll go and get a proper job and that'll make me happy. And then suddenly you realize when you go employed at 40 hours a week, and especially in say like the police force where you're doing like 48 hours a week and it's night shift and it's day shift
like
and it's
40
early
grand
morning
a year or something.
Not even that, Neil. It's like 20s, late 20s, early 30s.
Wow.
And you then soon quickly realise that when you were doing 20 hours worth of PT, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So did he do his training and stuff, or did he just kind of?
Yeah. Went to like police university and everything for a year.
What?
You get paid for it, like. Yeah, you get paid for it, like. So yeah, thankfully he's stopped. I mean, I told him before he started out, he won't mind speaking about this. I hope he doesn't mind. I told him, I was like, I understand that you don't feel like it's a real job, like personal training and a fitness thing, but it's a lifestyle, right? And it's a pretty good lifestyle, especially if you can maintain like, 50 grand a year kind of mark, which is quite comfortable. It's very comfortable, in fact. And you'll be back. And here he is. He's back. So I'm going for lunch with him, catch up with him, because he went through it. We were having lots of chats about it and trying to make decisions and whatnot. And yeah, we're going to catch up, have some lunch, have some Guinness, something like that, have a chat. And then, I've got something as well for next week. Guess what? Neil?
We're going to ruin the catch up next week. What are you going to tell me?
We're going to ruin the catch up next week. Oh no! Well, I can tell people how well it goes.
Okay.
So I got offered front row seats to Chris Williamson live podcast.
Nice. Who's he interviewing?
I don't know.
Oh.
No idea. One of my friends can't go, so he's like, I've got tickets available. I've got 2 of them. Do you want them? And I was like, all right, yeah, take them.
Nice.
So you can fly down to London if you want, Neil.
What day is it?
Saturday, 18th.
We'll see what the weekend's plans are.
Right. Okay. I mean, I've already offered them to someone else, but if you turn around and go, I fancy coming, then I can easily boot them out, don't worry. But yeah, I thought it was quite cool, like front row, Chris Williamson live podcast. That'd be quite a fun thing to go and watch, have a few bevies and have a listen.
I'm dog sitting actually on this Saturday.
Oh, whose dog you sitting?
And there's a school thing on Sunday I'm going to. Mum and Dad's dog.
Oh.
Mum and Dad are away to the witchery for dinner.
Oh, are they going to the secret garden or are they just going to the witchery?
I don't know.
All right. What's that in aid of?
Mum's anniversary of her transplant.
Oh, is that like 30 years or something now, is it?
I don't know actually. I don't know what it must be big. It's a big one.
Might be 30 odd years, I think.
Yeah.
Because I was about 4 or 5, wasn't I? Maybe it's 35 years. Who knows? Neil's checking his calendar if anyone's listening on the podcast and has no idea while Neil's looking at a blank space trying to figure something out.
Can't see the date, but yes, we've agreed to take Bobby for the evening.
Oh, is that the first time?
Yeah, and he's getting the snip actually on that subject earlier. End of this month. So right now he's in like the teenage boy years.
You could do it together.
Get the vet.
Yeah. Same thing, isn't it? But no, technically his balls are removed.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So a vivisectomy is just the tube being cut, right? That's just, it stops the spermioids coming up the spermiotubi.
Yeah.
Right. And going and then creating mini nails.
But he gets his testosterone taken away.
Yeah, he just basically he just turns into a nobody.
Yeah. So, but he needs it because he's in his teenage male years now as a dog, and he's a bit of a
Randy.
Randy, but just like a bit wild sometimes.
All right.
I mean,
do the kids like him?
The kids love him, but the kids wind him up, and he wants to play with the kids rough.
Right.
So.
Well, there's a lesson in there, Neil. It's like, look, you want to play with a dog with teeth and wind him up, then he's going to bite you. There you go. You know.
But yeah, it'd be good to hear who Chris Williamson interviews.
Yeah, I think that would be fun actually, because especially if he does like a crazy person like Jordan Peterson or something like that. That would be nuts. So I don't really know what it is. I think where
about is it?
Leicester Square.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me have a look to see if I can find exactly what the details.
So he's come out with a new energy drink thing, nootropic drink. Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, I mean, they talk about science, don't they? Like, it's not exactly science. I'd say. Yeah, I think it's just Chris Williamson's self-discovery. So I don't know if he's doing a podcast. It's just a live session, I think. No idea. Yeah, I don't even know what's included. Just going for the pants.
Cool.
So that was quite fun. I'm actually going with a guy called Luke Turner. He, that gym that I do consultancy work for, the YouTube stuff. He's into I got him into the podcast because he was kind of I told him about a certain episode and some bits and pieces to listen to, and he kind of enjoyed it. So I was like, do you fancy a ticket? So he's the one that's got it if you don't want to fly down to London. Yeah.
Sound. I'm sure he'll enjoy it.
You can tell me this, Neil. When is the acceptable time to put up a Christmas tree?
First week in December.
So guess when we're putting up a Christmas tree?
Don't tell me this weekend.
No, next weekend, 19th of November, apparently is an acceptable time to put up a Christmas tree.
That's early.
I know, Neil. I know. Jesus would not be happy.
Oh, is it because you're going to Dubai? Maybe.
Yeah,
and
it is. But then I'm just like, why don't we just do it when we come back? But no. But then we don't get as much time enjoying it. Apparently. I mean, am I just a Scrooge, or is that?
No, that is a bit. I mean, we put our Christmas lights outside the house, like the 1st of December last year, and we were like a week earlier than everyone else.
Yeah,
but the kids love it.
Yeah,
but November is a bit ridiculous.
It is. I mean, why don't we just put it up in July? Then we can just enjoy it for the 6 months.
On that, I haven't told the podcast this, have I? Tom Fletcher. I spoke to you about Tom Fletcher yet?
You mentioned you went and got a book signing, yeah. Yeah,
but I feel like, because that was just last weekend, I don't think I've caught up with you.
Yeah, we did talk about Tom Fletcher.
Did we?
When did we last do a podcast?
I think it was Sunday, yeah. We have, okay.
Yeah, we've caught up about it.
That was very Christmassy because he had like elves dancing around and big Christmas trees. And it was a Christmas book he was releasing, which kind of made sense. So,
but it's like start of November.
The kids got very excited thinking it was close to Christmas time.
How still engaged are all of the children with regards to Santa being real?
Well, Isla, she's sometimes still awake, and her bedroom's just there, so it'll be quiet. But last night, actually, Santa came up just before I was putting her down, and she asked, some people at school, or she told me, some people at school say Santa's not real. And then she carried on saying that, like, how can somebody eat the carrot and the mince pie that we leave out if he's not real?
Oh, the deductive reasoning. And how did Neil lie to his daughter?
And then she was like, and then where did all the presents come from? So she's very much still in the Christmas.
Okay. So did you lie to her? How did you handle that situation, Neil? This could be good information for any budding dads.
I just played it. I didn't play it dumb and say I'm not sure.
You lie to your daughter, Neil. She's going to hate you for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
What you can do?
You just carry on.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Olivia be a good age for Santa.
Yeah, she's starting to nail it. Like, she's just the best. She's just the best. No, I mean tonight she was a little bit. She gets a bit flavoursome after a sesh at nursery, where she's not had much sleep and whatnot. But she's just the absolute best. Like last night I was basically just crying inside. I was crying inside with happiness and joy and pride because I took her home and had to do bath time and stuff because Laura was working late. But basically, we sat in and we do this thing where she's got one of these Tony's boxes. Have you heard of these?
Yeah, we've got one.
Yeah, so we've got Tony's box, and she puts Elsa on it, and the first song is Let It Go, right? And for some reason, like, I decided to just start dancing with her. And now anytime she puts the song on, she goes, Daddy dance. Right? And how can you say no? Right? Your daughter's just asked you to dance. Yeah. No, you don't say no. So I don't say no. But what she did was, last night, is she put a dress on.
Wow.
She's got like a dress up dress, right, with sparkly bits on it. And then she picked up her baby and started doing all the moves that we do together when we were dancing. And she was singing Let It Go. And I'm just sat there, just absolutely in bits inside, just, filming some of it so I can capture it and remember when she's 18 and she hates me because I haven't picked her up.
Nice. Yeah, that's wholesome.
That was, it's pretty sensational when that happens. And that was the thing. Like I remember talking to someone about this, because sometimes, the mid 20-year-old sort of friends or colleagues, right? They're kind of in that place where they're considering having children, or like, so there's a children consideration conversation, and they'll ask you, like, do you recommend having kids? And I often find myself kind of sitting in the middle and being like, maybe. Because it's kind of, you can't recommend having kids.
Yeah.
Because it's brutal. But then they also go into like other aspects of it. It's like, if you're rich enough, you're going to have like a nanny, right? So maybe the nanny does all the nappies and all the kind of like the dirty thing that comes with being a dad or being a parent. But then part of me feels like you should do everything.
Yeah,
Like outsource, like should you be outsourcing any part of raising a child?
No, I disagree. Well, you kind of, I mean, everyone does it with the nursery and stuff like that, but the late nights and the early morning changes and the bath times, I think they're precious bonding times, even though it's fucking hard sometimes.
Yeah, they're weird kind of bonding things. Like changing a nappy is kind of like the servitude thing. Maybe I'm basically just justifying the crappiest part of parenthood, but it's just things like that, right? It's like the bath time for me is one of the best times of like compassionate touch.
Yeah.
Like you're hugging, you're cleaning, you're helping, you do the moisturizer, like you're kind of getting them ready for bath, lots of hugs and cuddles, and then getting their hair ready and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like this odd chimpanzee kind of, primal thing of family unity and stuff. And then, but anyway, maybe I'm totally over-egging the idea of just changing a nappy. But there's something about that. There's something about her knowing that no matter what, you'll do anything for her to help her.
There must be some kind of link between the bond you have as a child to whoever and who's there with you through thick and thin, like these rich people who have nannies or people that look after them.
Most definitely.
Yeah, there must be a bonding thing.
Yeah, no question. And there's probably things we're not really measuring either, like smell and like exchange of like hugging and the hormones that creates and all that kind of stuff. Like you in the bloody birthing thing with your shirt off.
Yeah, the skin
hugging away
and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff that seems pretty. So yeah, it was kind of always weird when someone said to me that their parents would never do any of the nappies; they'd have their nanny to do it. And I was like,
yeah,
that's why you turned out like that, then.
Yeah, we're going through a stage of just like constant fights between Isla and the boys, or the boys with each other. And it's just, it's like playing referee all the time. There's this incident today actually of Isla had made brownies last week, this pine cone that looked like an owl with stuff stuck in it, covered in snow. It was very nice. Got up to the top of the stairs and it was just picked out lying on the stairs like a mess.
Oh, excellent.
So Isla was just like flipping out, going crazy. Boys denied it totally, absolutely, unequivocally. They did not do it.
So what you're saying is Rebecca did it.
Rebecca was here too, and she denied it. I denied it. So trying to get the boys to like own up and be like, telling lies is bad. We'll find out. No idea how we'd find out. But they still, to this day, to this hour, they still deny doing it. But one of them has done it. And
do you punish in that situation?
Especially when there's two of them. Like, who do you punish?
But both of them, because someone knows who's done it. There's no way that twins who basically hang out together, who are joined at the hip, literally, there's one of them knows what's happening.
Yeah. And Isla came downstairs and she was like, the boys are still smiling.
See? They know what's happened.
But they weren't smiling at that incident, but they're pretty sincere saying they didn't do it.
We know they're lying, Neil.
Part of me is like, because there's another incident of like one of the boys stole something of Isla's at roughly the same time. Has Isla done that to get attention?
It's not victim blaming here, Neil.
Anyway, I feel like I'm just a referee and a judge every 5 minutes in the household until they go to school.
I don't really have a solution for you, I'm afraid. I'm not at that stage.
I remember we used to fight quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout at each other and...
But that would be when we were alone, though, wouldn't it? I don't remember fighting with you in front of mum and dad, because then dad or mum would just basically like get the wooden spoon out.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Back in that day.
Back in that day. Sometimes you wish.
Well, you just be like,
bring it back.
I'm going to hit you with this fucking mallet. You sit down, boy.
Yeah.
It is a bit. It is tough. Like, it's tough. And I know there's kind of like there's all sorts of things about punishment and praise and whatever not. But like, if like I like the Jordan Peterson take on it. If your child is acting in a way in which you're not going to like them when they're an adult.
Yeah.
So if their behavior right now you don't like, but you let it pass because they're a kid, they're going to be like that as an adult, maybe. So it's a bit like you treat them as an adult now, and if they're behaving in a way in which you wouldn't accept it from an adult, you don't accept it now. So it's like if you're both lying, I wouldn't accept that from an adult. So I'd be like, there's consequences to this. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And if one of you tells us what's happened, then we can forgive, and we can apologize, and we can move forward. Yeah, I'd be an absolute bellend for that. I'd be like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. We removed privileges. You're eating rice from now on.
I do find I lost my train of thought now. Yeah, so the boys, when they're playing together, they're having like the best time, laughing, giggling, running about their bedroom, causing so much noise, but they're having the best time. So it's hard just to like bite your tongue and be like, oh, just let them play, when they're just like hyper as anything.
Hi, but playing's all right.
I know, but the level of noise and just like we tell them to go and get their pajamas on, but then they're playing and having the time of their life.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, since becoming a dad, I don't think I have judgment of whether someone chooses to do what they choose to do as a parent. Like, it's entirely up to them. I think I'm only going through a lived experience of this is how I would do it. And I feel like Olivia has the balance of both, but she understands there's like a time we go to bed. Like, for example, she'll be sat watching Peter Rabbit, and she'll be having a great time, and it's amazing, and she loves it, and she's laughing and doing whatever else. But it's bedtime. It's 6:30. We're going upstairs. We're going to do the bath, and it's now time.
Yeah.
Because we know that if we have that routine, that she's still dialed in, that as soon as she hits the pillow at like 7:10, when she's finished all the bath stuff, she's straight asleep, and she won't wake up until 7:00. And she's ripe as rain. But if we just kind of like let her keep going for another half an hour, an hour.
Oh yeah. Routine's massive, and
the routine would kind of be ruined, I guess.
Easy with one, I guess. But when you've got three of them just playing around and having fun and like playing really nicely, it's like, oh.
Yeah, they probably do that just to manipulate you, Neil.
Yeah.
You know, they look like they're all having an amazing time. I was going to actually mention, this is kind of sidetracking aspect of things, but have you listened to Joe Rogan's Elon Musk podcast yet?
I have. Got a lot of thoughts about it.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Have you listened to the whole thing?
My phone's up using the webcam. Probably like 95% of it.
95%. That's a good going. I'm only probably like the first hour in, I think.
Have they ordered the pizza yet?
Yeah, they're just about to order it. Was it the sardines and the pineapples? Is that what they went with? Anchovies and pineapple?
What are the takeaways? And there's a lot of interesting stuff that Elon says. But one of the takeaways is like how Joe Rogan just doesn't give a fuck. Like, of the professionalism, I guess, of the podcast. So they're smoking weed. He's ordered a pizza.
That's it.
They spend half an hour eating pizza.
But that's I can't listen to people eat. But to me, that's the beauty of the podcast.
Yeah, he hasn't changed.
That's why the podcast works so well. You know, where it's just like this. Like, Joe Rogan will just ask this kind of totally rogue question, where it'll be like, "Do you regret buying Twitter?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And Elon turns around and says it was making humanity miserable.
Yeah. And then he goes off in a rant about like extinctionism, and extinctionist and like left-leaning like politics and all sorts of shit going on. Like it's just like it's just. I find it like I don't listen to all of his podcasts, but when he's got someone like Elon Musk on, who I like to listen to, and I want to kind of like understand or see what's going on in sort of the richest man's mind. There's just a weird eloquence that he has. Like he's got brashness, but there's an eloquence of his ability to like have a conversation
with the richest man in the world. It's mad.
It's great, and I think that's why it's so popular. Like it's clearly why it's so popular.
I think we're pretty lucky to have that so accessible.
Yes, 100%.
Our kids, like, when we were kids, we had nothing like that.
No, and you know, there's kind of every so often on my YouTube Explore page comes up like an old school lecture from Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right? Imagine Steve Jobs on a podcast.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic. And I think that's just great. So I've enjoyed it so far, and I kind of had a really interesting insight. I love how he hammered home the whole like Tesla manufacturing thing. He's like, you do not understand how hard this is.
Repeat it over and over again.
Yeah. He's like, they don't make movies about manufacturing. They make movies about crazy scientists in a garage.
But when the pizza comes, they literally spend 20 minutes, half an hour speaking about the pizza.
I might fast forward through that bit. I do also quite like how he was like, I'll bet you $1 that your bow and arrow can't go through my Cybertruck.
And then they went and did it with like iPhone audio or something ridiculous.
Yeah. But there's a video, there's an outtake.
Oh, is there?
On YouTube, yeah. And it's just so funny because I think I experienced it when I came to London. So when I came to London, I started working with like bankers and hedge fund managers and these kind of people that I'd never hang around with because living in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Right. It just wouldn't be people I'd hang around with. And, you know, you kind of have a vision of what a banker is when you live in Scotland, you know.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that they're not the caricatures that you think they are. They're just kind of like very smart people that make loads of money. That's pretty much it. And they've still got the same traits that we have.
Yeah.
You know, they're still the same people. And I guess sometimes when you think about Elon Musk, you're like, he's the richest man in the world and he's this crazy guy who's done all this kind of stuff. He also just loves banter.
Yeah. Yeah. Dry humor, likes pizza, like smoking a joint.
Yeah, he's like, you know, we can give it a try. You can try and, you know, but you're not going to get through my Cybertruck.
Yeah.
It's good. And it's that's the kind of thing that I think why podcasts like that type of thing work so well is just, yeah, Joe Rogan just kind of nailed the conversational piece, and he's got himself to a position where he can invite guests that are just ridiculous onto it and have kind of mildly ridiculous conversations about stuff.
It's the third time Elon Musk's been on with Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
and to get like that time with Elon, what, 3 hours or something ridiculous. That's mad.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely nailed it. Anyway, we'll bring the pod to the end. Maybe we'll go over our Elon Musk podcast enjoyment experience out of it. But thanks so much for listening. This is, like I said, episode number 97. We're getting very close to our 100th episode of the Developing Dads podcast. If you have any questions, thoughts, feelings, either keep them to yourself or pop over to Instagram where Neil, he says he's posted reels or something's happening, but I've still not seen one come up. He's doing something somewhere in the background.
They're definitely coming up.
Oh, okay. Excellent. We also will have this up on YouTube, all the sort of bits and pieces. You can watch us. Give us a 5-star review. If you're a 3.5 listener, jump on Spotify, and we're up to 10 5-star reviews. Like, that's pretty good. Maybe we can get up to 11 before we hit 100. Is there anything else we end on, Neil? Or is that it?
Got a special guest, hopefully, getting organised.
Hopefully, if Neil can tell me some dates and we can get that booked in, and that can be our 100th episode. But we're going to have to get that in within 3 weeks, so we'll see what they say.
Yeah.
But yeah. Either way, thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.